We just finished the Copy Accelerator business event in Scottsdale, Arizona, which was magnificent. And now we are free to travel the country again, which is what has led me to this beautiful place behind me. This is the Petrified National Forest. Not much of a forest, I know, you'll see in a minute. Petrified National Forest in northern Arizona, one of the more fascinating geological marvels of the Southwest. The question you may be asking yourself, similar to the question I'm asking myself, is how is the desert the way it is? If you look closely, you can see different bands of color as you go through the elevation. So there's like dark grays, there's dark rust colored red, there's pale reds. And during the summer, and when this gets wet, it almost turns into a purpley color and all sorts of different stuff, which has made some amazing pictures that I looked up before getting here. So why is this? Why is the desert so colored here? It's called the Painted Desert. The reason why is because approximately 202 million years ago, the Triassic period, late Triassic period, is when the supercontinent of Pangaea started breaking up. During that time, there were a lot of oceans, a lot of water around all sorts of areas like here that kind of drained out and were tossed into the bowels of the earth, is what I guess what you can say. So many ancient oceans that have been here have dried up over time, and because of the tectonic plate movements, there were different levels of rock that came up, along with the combination of the newly exposed rock and the eroding water. What it left us with was this very fascinating environment of the Painted Desert, where you can see all these different colors. It's very, very fascinating, very cool. Not sure if you're a geology nerd like me, but this is pretty freaking amazing here. And we're gonna move on right now. A lot to see. What the Petrified Forest is also known for is being the only national park in the country with a route that goes through famous Route 66. Now, what was Route 66? Route 66 was a famous old highway, the US, back in between like 1926 and 1952, I want to say. Don't quote me on that one. But what they did is they drove around. It was the traveling part of America where they traveled in cars like this little like 1932 Studebaker, I think is what they said this one is right now. Check it out. Could you imagine traveling the entirety of the country going 35 miles an hour in this car right here? It would be a crazy experience. You're about to see why they call this place the Petrified Forest. So this rock that you are looking at right here is not actually a lot of rock. If you look inside, this is all petrified wood. The Petrified Forest has the largest quantity of petrified wood of anywhere that I know of, and definitely one of the largest areas of petrified wood in the world. Now you can see a very special thing right here is this is a log, an ancient tree, massive tree. You can see how big it is. Fell across this gap ages ago, somehow got petrified, and now here it stands today, probably millions of years after it fell that long ago. Absolutely incredible. And this is why it's called the Petrified Forest. A lot of the rock you see here is actually ancient wood and ancient trees just like this. Amazing. What you are about to see is the piece de resistance of Petrified National Forest, and you're going to get to see why this is called a forest for the real park. What you're about to look out on, or what you are looking out on, I guess, right now, is the Jasper Forest. Now, the strange thing about this is that it's not a forest we are really used to today, but if you look down and you see all these little rocks, and if you look down here at all the little boulders that have fallen down, every single one of those is ancient remnants of a tree, of a petrified tree. Who knows how old they are. It's absolutely amazing that this whole place used to be an ancient forest, and now there's the remnants of it are crystallized in these petrified blocks of wood. This place tells a story of a land that once was, and that's what makes it special and very unique and worth protecting. That does it for Petrified National Forest, though. We are moving on to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Maybe we'll see an old friend. We're gonna go maybe ride a gondola too. So I don't want to promise too much. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow, but I'll see you. Lisa saying something smart. We're here at breakfast.
Hi.
We're down here in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Never been here before. Lisa and I went to the University of Montana together in Missoula. Now at long last, we're reconnected, long lost friends. It's a beautiful thing. We're gonna have some breakfast, and then maybe a tram, a sky gondola, right? Maybe a tram side. I made it to Taos, New Mexico. One thing that's stood out to me about the South this entire time I've been down here in the Southwest in the United States is that millions of people are living in a place without water, which is crazy to me. But now that I'm in Taos, New Mexico, this is the first time where I'm proud to say there's actually a river here, actually water, places to swim, places to enjoy. I'm gonna enjoy every bit of this. Ready to see a cool place? Welcome to Great Dunes National Park, Colorado. Colorado makes the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7th state I've been to on this trip. That's pretty cool. And Colorado is pretty awesome. You can't tell the scale of how big these dunes are from how far we are away. So I'm just gonna walk up with you and probably jump off one. And you can tell that way, but the sand's super hot. I'm gonna try to go barefoot. Might not work out, but let's do it. All right, we made it to the top of Great Sand Dunes, isn't it? Great Sand Dunes.
Janet from Denver, Colorado.
And
Alman from Denver.
you guys rock. Keep rocking. Are you guys gonna sled down that thing? Are you gonna film it?
We're gonna slide down.
Okay. You deserve it after that hike. That was a minute. Okay, let me go when you guys go. There's a desert ocean out here. Check it out. Miles of sand. Incredible. It's a different kind of wilderness, but a wilderness nonetheless. Where we came from is all the way down here at this parking lot. Now we get the reward of rolling down some of these sand dunes. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Okay, Janet and Ahmed just made it down on the sled. The sand was too thick for them to actually sled down, so they just had to pull each other down the sand. So what I'm doing is I'm going to the top of this dune, and I'm gonna run down, which hopefully will be equally as fun and maybe much more effective. All right, the wind is getting so intense now that it's actually starting to sting my leg where the sand's coming over the top of this sand dune. This is intense weather. Wild place. Oh my gosh. So what you see in front of me is what they call a razorback. In southern Idaho, they have a sand dune place called St. Anthony's. And every year, razorbacks just like these are responsible for people dying or getting seriously injured. Because when you take heavy machinery out here and go to travel on it, and go to jump over these things, after climbing the dune, you think you're gonna hit a gentle, easy slope on the other end, but it's not always the case. Sometimes people will fly off razorbacks like this and fall down 50, 60, even 100 feet where the biggest sand dunes are, and they die. It's a dangerous thing, but it only happens in the most intense and the highest sand dunes like this. So we're at the top. It's time to enjoy our way down. Cowabunga! Ow! What's up? I'm at a place called Garden of the Gods in Colorado. You can't see much of where I am right now. I just had to get up there and then I can show you how cool this place actually is. So I might have to climb. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna get up yet, but I'll catch up with you when I figure it out. Be able to actually show you this place. I just made a beginner's stupid mistake when climbing. So I wanna show you this so you don't make this mistake, because usually I'm good at this. And for some time today, I just got too excited to climb and didn't look ahead and think about what I was doing. So check this out. Where I am right now is I was just down there when I filmed that last video for you, just right down there at the bottom, right in here. And I climbed up this and came here. Now that is not easy to get down. If I had to do it, absolutely had to, I probably could and I'd be okay. But it's gonna suck to get down that. And then on the other side, which is okay, you can do that. You can climb up things that's not comfortable getting down, as long as you know you're going to have a gentle slope down on the other side. But I didn't check this side of the cliff, and now look at this. I'm in a place where it's probably a 12-foot drop, so it's really not that dangerous. And I could probably get down, but it's super uncomfortable and it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So my goal is to get all the way up there. But doing this sort of shit where you like get up on top of something and don't think about a good way down is one of the dumbest things you can do in hiking, and I just did it. It's a mistake that all sorts of professionals make because they get too excited to climb without looking ahead. So I'm gonna get down from this. I'll send you a video as soon as I'm down or make it up, whatever it is. But don't do this, okay? If you're gonna climb up something, make sure that one, you can either get down the thing you're climbing up, or two, you have a good exit strategy after you get to the top of what you're climbing. All right, I forgot to point out one last dangerous part about getting yourself stuck in situations like this, especially for more skilled climbers. Is where I last talked to you. That second video I filmed was I was right here on top of this rock right there, and I climbed down this little thing, made my way up, kind of squeezed my way up the crack, made my way to where I am right now, which is great. It means that I've gotten good at climbing, I'm more skilled, and I'm at the top of where I wanted to go. But here's the truth, I don't know what's on the other side of this, right? So sometimes climbers will get in iffy situations that they probably could have got out of if they really wanted to. But instead of doing that, they'll take the route that's, because they're skilled climbers, they'll keep going up the mountain trying to hope for something better and get themselves in even worse situations. So once again, I have to tell you, like, you have to be careful to do this stuff, because I've made a mistake right now. This is my fault, I'm owning it. It was a bad decision to climb up this without first knowing where I was going. So I'm gonna take you over this little hill with me, and we're gonna see what's on the other side right now. Hopefully it's easier to get down. Oh, we're safe. We're safe. I can climb down right here. That's solid ground, and that'll lead me somewhere good. Whew! That was scary. That was scary, all right? Is now if I had gotten myself in a situation where suddenly a 12-foot fall becomes a 20-foot fall, now the situation turns from potentially dangerous into potentially life-threatening. You don't want situations like that. You want to avoid them whenever possible. So, good news is I made it out. Bad news is it might not always end up that way. So be careful when you're out in the woods. But in the meantime, here we are, Garden of the Gods in Colorado. Beautiful spot. So I've been walking around Garden of the Gods for a while now. Now just check it out. It's spectacular. And what I've learned about this place is a guy by the name of Perkins, last name was Perkins, used to own all of this land as private land. He purchased it for about $10,000 way back in the day, and it's over 400 acres. Super, super really cool. Then what happened is he allowed public people, he allowed it to be treated as public land essentially. So even though it was private property, he welcomed locals out to enjoy this place he called Garden of the Gods, which is a very generous thing to do. His goal was to turn it into a public park that he could allow people to come out here forever and ever and always enjoy it, so they would never be charged to come enjoy this beautiful spot. That's a really cool, really exciting thing for me, because the goal I've had for a very long time is to create essentially public wilderness reserves around the country for a very long time. And this is a place that has happened already. This is my future that I'm seeing as I walk through this park. It's a place I want to do. I want to be able to purchase land, protect it, and allow other people to come hunt it, enjoy it, recreate in it, just marvel at the beauty of it. Because if you don't get people out to actually enjoy and participate in the wild cycle, you never have people that want to protect wild places. I'm at something that I've wanted to see forever. This is the first time I've seen it. These are the native cliff dwellings. Whoa. Check that out. Oh my gosh. We are inside the cliff dwellings. They had storage bins. Dude, this doesn't seem like it was a place that could have been built hundreds of years ago, but it is. Built hundreds of years ago. Wow. Check this out, little pit below me right here. This was a ceremonial pit where men used to dance around the fire, or natives used to dance around the fire as like all sorts of ancient traditions. Who knows what they were, but that's all we know. This is crazy. Check it out. Check out how this thing's built. This is wild, man. I've never been to one of these. I've always wanted to. This is... So this right here that you're looking in was a two-story family home, two-family home. So two families of probably 3 or 4 lived in this little tiny hut. Like I could stretch across that distance with my arms out, and 2 full families lived in that little tiny hut. It's incredible here. This is incredible. I got a little platform. You can see the view from up here on this little porch. Now, this is what's interesting is if you go inside this little hut here, this little hut structure, according to that sign, they believe that this thing was used as a turkey roast because turkey droppings were found here. So they think they just roasted turkeys inside this little kind of 1-bedroom looking place. Whoa! Inside the museum, climbing down this little ladder. Look how small these things are. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. You're inside. Look at this. I can't even barely stand up straight. Like these were a smaller people back in the day. Less food, I guess. And they just lived in these little, like these were the doorways. These were the doorways. Look how small this doorway is. You had to fit out. That's so amazing. That little tiny doorway. All these people lived here. Check this out. This is kind of the history of everything. This is the, oh my gosh, modern day home. Amazing. So I'm feeling a bit like a dirty hippie this morning. It's been 2.5 days since I've taken a bath. I've been sweating a lot. So I'm down here at a pretty cool park that's really has actually a pretty special spot in my heart. This is Epken Park in Boulder, Colorado. And it's the place that my partner Joey Oler and I stopped at right before we made the hike into Netherlands, way up this way when we were hitchhiking across the country. So we've been here before, we've hiked this place before, we've laid in this park before resting. It's like being back on a hitchhiker's route. I've been here before, back when I was walking across the country. We're going to play Topgolf. Check that out.
What was that beat?
This should be the last day before you see this video, but right now I'm with my longtime pal Joey. You may know this guy. We hitchhiked across the country together back in 2018. And his new bride, Deanna. Hey, we're playing Topgolf right now. Check this out, man. Check it out. Pretty cool. Did you see where her head went when she did that? That looks good.
All right, fix 50 of these today.
It's been a long day, a lot of fun. First, we got free breakfast this morning. I tried to pay the guy and he insisted I'd already paid when it wasn't true. I couldn't change his mind, so we got the free bagels. And after that, we found an unlimited game card on the ground and beat this like 15-hour Laura Croft game. It took forever. We got a free card there, and then we got more free food somewhere. And then we got free laser tag, is what it is. The guy gave us 2 free tickets to play laser tag. It was unbelievable. One of these days, like, this guy is my good luck charm. That's what we call it. It's good luck. All right, I don't know how much longer we're gonna go tonight, but I'm gonna call it there. That's it. Maybe not. We'll see. See you next time.